Yeah. ठीक है YouTube आ गया
Now you're live.
लाइव हो गया
हाँ.
अकबर okay.
I don't think it is live because you can see the number of participants also. It's not coming.
लाइव आवाज नहीं आ रही है
अच्छा okay yes give me a second okay are we live
हाँ यार यू आर लाइव बट अब जूम हटा दे तो आप स्टार्ट कर दें बोलिए
okay yes give me a second okay live
हाँ यार यू आर लाइव बट अब जूम हटा दे तो आप स्टार्ट
Okay, yes. Hello, everybody. This is Nabil Khan from Northwest Immigration joining you with the webinar today with live webinar from Pakistan for students from Pakistan. So welcome everybody who has joined us for watching this webinar on various platforms. So this is on YouTube. This is on Facebook. This is on Instagram. So this webinar is being live streamed on multiple platforms. So wherever you are, you're welcome to join us to ask us questions. And again, this is live webinar. We'll be very casual, informal, and this is the reason for this webinar is to give you an outlook on how you can become a international student in Canada and prepare a successful application. So I mean, the basis of this webinar basically is to give you an outlook from an approved institution's point of view. And we have got here Mr. Nishant here from our from Cambrian College. Nishant will give his introduction himself. That's better in a way where Nishant will explain to us because Nishant is very experienced and he will guide us through the whole process. So we have different questions from him. So Nishant, I hand over to you for now. You can please take over from here.
Thank you so much, Nabil. It's a pleasure for me to come over here and address such a wonderful audience from our friends from Pakistan and all across the world too. And my name is Nishant Singh. I handle international student recruitment for Cambrian at Hanson College. We're in Brampton and North York in Greater Toronto area. I'll talk about the college and everything, programs, admission process, more when it's my turn to talk. But yeah, I would be very happy to address questions. If you have specific questions also, please put up through these systems if you are joined through Zoom webinar. And I really hope that we can see our friends turning up for queries to Northwest Immigration and what in whatever capacity we can help to make sure that your dreams are coming true, to come to Canada and have a quality education and have a life over here. And yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishant. Thank you for the introduction. So, as I said to our audience, that the reason for our this webinar is very simple, very straightforward. That we will discuss few points, and which I'll just highlight to you our agenda for today. So our agenda for today is number one was obviously the introduction of Mr. Nishant, how as a Cambrian College admissions head, he will guide us through the whole process. Then our next agenda will be, next point will be awareness of the admission process, which again Nishant will take over for this part of the webinar. Then the third would be how to prepare a successful study permit application, which I will guide you, being your immigration consultant. And then along with that, it will be pitfalls of misrepresentation, because misrepresentation is a big issue, which Nishant also knows. And we discussed about this, that how some of the students are being banned for life or banned for 5 years for misrepresentation. Then some points that strengthen the application, which Nishant will give a very valuable input. Some points that weaken the application. and why professional consultations are recommended. So this is the basis of the webinar about these 5-6 points. So again, so you see, anybody like a student like yourself who's interested in getting admission, you first of all, you guys look into the international options that are available to you. One is obviously US. You go to US, you look at US, then you look at UK, which I know from Pakistan, India, UK is very famous, very reputable. And then you look at Australia, Canada. Some people even look at Malaysia. But again, out of all these countries, I would just say one thing is very clear: US, Australia, UK. If we talk about those three big names, none of these countries are offering something known as a postgraduate work permit and a pathway to permanent residence. I mean, this is on record. I mean, you can go and check US. I have done so many US students who want to have completed bachelor's and master's in the US, and they are unable to find a pathway for permanent residence or green card in the US. UK, you have come to know recently how everything is being very tightened around the UK. They want you to go back to apply for post study work permit to your home countries, and then you cannot bring your families. If you're a student, you cannot bring your spouse, you cannot bring your children, you cannot. So UK is tightening all those stuff. Then Europe, again, I will not take Europe into consideration because most of the European countries, they have their own language requirements. Germany, people want to go to Germany, but Germany has strict German language requirements. France has strict French language requirements. Romania has strict, again, Romanian language requirements. And then coming back to Australia, again, their immigration pathway is again very erratic in the sense that they are sometimes it's a yes, sometimes a no. It's again through a state sponsorship. It's for skilled sometimes. So everybody cannot go into skilled trades. Everybody cannot go through a state sponsorship. So this is where Canada's immigration pathway is very consistent, very stable. If you come here as a student, there's a very strong chance that you're going to become a permanent resident, because here we have different streams. We have the provincial nomination, we have got the federal nomination, we have got the different streams for international graduates. Alberta has taken out a stream for international graduates. Again, everybody. So either way, if you study in a postgraduate awarding institute like Nishant's Cambrian College, you will get a work permit. And Nishant, I will hand over to you from here onwards that what kind of work permits, what is the admission process details, and from here onwards, please take over.
Thank you, Nabil. Thank you for giving the mic again. So let me just talk to you about Cambrian College at Hanson. Hanson College started in 2001, so we are not new. Since 2005, we are in a partnership agreement with Cambrian College, which is a public college in Ontario, Sudbury. And we operate in Brampton and North York campus of Ontario, where you can see these both campuses are located in Greater Toronto area. And then when you talk about what programs are we running, what are the qualities, what are the features of the programs and everything. So let's talk about specific highlights which are common to all the programs with us. First of all, like I said, it's a partnership between Cambrian and Hanson College, and whatever programs we run at Hanson, they are run through Cambrian College, and all the programs are eligible for PGWP. That means if you graduate from any of the program from Cambrian at Hanson, you will be eligible for post-study work permit, depending on the laws of the Canadian government. And then when you talk about the programs, we have majorly three types of programs. One is diploma, in which people who have just passed their high school, and people who have English and mathematics in their high school. These guys can do diploma of 2 years with us. These diplomas are in hospitality, tourism, and business streams. These diplomas are for 2 years each. When you talk about fees for these programs, it's roughly around $17,500 annually. And then these programs are specifically designed for people who have just passed out from their schools and they would like to have basic knowledge of business or hospitality or tourism, and they would like to enter into that market. So these guys to graduate from these any of these three diplomas will be eligible for 3 years work permit, post-study work permit. And then when you talk about the English requirement for these programs is we take IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, and Duolingo. And towards the end of the webinar, I'll also ask Nabil to tell us about the new language requirements for SDS applicants. But yes, basically for IELTS, we need at least 6 band score with 5.5 in each. 5.5 in each band minimum. So if you have those, then you can apply for any of our diploma program. But please remember the mandatory requirement for these are English and mathematics in high school, either 11th or 12th. And we should have at least 50% of grades in high school to apply for this. Then you talk about the second type of program, which are postgraduate diploma for management. Now, these programs are in project management and organization management, and they are of 1 year each. And people who have high school with them, not necessarily English and mathematics, but yes, high school with 50% marks, and people who have to top that post-secondary graduation degree or diploma for minimum of 3 years and have 50% marks in that also in all courses, they can apply for project management or organization management. The fees is roughly again $17,500 to $18,000 for each program, and these are for 1 year. So people who are graduating from these programs, they will be eligible for 1 year work permit if they do one PG diploma program with us. Now, we have seen in the past what people do is they do 1+1. So they will apply for both the programs simultaneously. They will have the offer letter for both the programs simultaneously. And that's how by the end of the second program, they will be able to apply for 3 years work permit, post-study work permit. When you talk about English requirement for these two programs, it is 6.5 minimum in IELTS and 6 in each band for IELTS. And then after this, there is the third type of program, which are in IT, information technology. We call them cloud computing and mobile application development. So these are very high demand programs where, again, postgraduate diploma programs, but their duration is different. So for example, when we talk about cloud computing, it's for 2 years program. That means 4 semesters. The requirement is exactly the same. What is there for management at high school and post-secondary graduation with 50% marks, and IELTS is also same. The difference is in the 4th semester, there is a mandatory co-op. So they can work during the 4th semester, and the college will help you to get the co-op. The next type of IT program is mobile application development, which is for 3 semesters. We call it somewhere roughly around 1 year. And it would be 2 semesters academics and 1 semester field placement, which would be again mandatory. Field placement is kind of a responsibility of a student, but yes, college will also help in getting that. But again, for all the PG diploma programs, the requirement is high school plus post-secondary graduate with all courses. That's what we need to get into the PG diploma programs.
Thank you, Nishant. Thank you for the explanation. Nishant, here I would like to confirm to our audience that the dollars you're talking about is Canadian dollars, not the US dollars, because in Pakistan there's a lot of disparity between the US and Canadian dollars. So we just want to inform them that if you're looking to study in the US, obviously you have a different exchange rate. If you're studying in the looking to study in Canada, it's a different exchange rate, which is cheaper for you. So this is where we have to understand that this is all Canadian dollars. And then Nishant, you were last time discussing with me that there are certain opportunities of on-campus work as well and in your school. Can you just explain those as well, please? That how you work with that?
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry that I forgot about that. What students their primary education, a primary role to come to Canada is getting education. That's for sure. That is the most important thing for any student coming from any part of the world to Canada. The secondary reason for the student, or secondary role for the student, is to survive and to do part-time jobs. And what they do is they end up doing blue collar jobs, and where a delivery or security or somewhere where it will help them survive during the education over here, but it won't help them in the professional development. So what Hanson College, Cambrian and Hanson College is doing is basically providing education and employment opportunities to the student while they are studying. So what they can do is that we give the opportunity to the students that they can, when they're in the week, when they are not studying to a maximum of 20 hours, they will work on campus in our teams, in recruitment, in student services, in event planning, in academics. There are a lot of other work over there. So we will allow them, we will employ them, and it would be a paid job at currently at $19 an hour. That these guys will join us in helping us in our day-to-day activities, and also it is for their professional development too, right? Like for example, I did hotel management, and after that I went into MBA. But the reason I went into MBA, then when I was working in the corporate sector during the industrial training work, which I used to get from the hotel line, I understood that no, this is not the line for me. Maybe this is, a different line. Education line is more important for me. So this is how I realized. So there are a lot of things that the students will have realization that what is good for them, what is expectations from the corporate world, right? How the things work, plus the Canadian culture. When they end up when they complete their education, they will go for look for a job, and then they will already have experience on campus working for a Canadian employer. That will definitely help them. So we provide on-campus paid jobs opportunities to students coming to study at either of our campus. And for September, for right now, as of now, there are at least 200 students who are working with us while they are studying. So it's a huge thing, and and a lot of times we absorb them in our current capacity as well, because we get to know the students. So it's very different. It's very easy, and it's towards Hansen is all about what we can do, right? To contribute to the society. That's what our whole motto is about. So
Excellent, Nishant. Thank you. Thank you. Please continue. Sorry, you're saying something.
yeah, let's jump into the admission process. These were all about the programs, opportunities, and everything. Um, the admission process is pretty simple. You reach out to Nabil for inquiry about any of these programs. He will take in an interview counseling session with you to understand your goal, what you want to do, why do you want to, why do you want education in Canada, and will assess your profile. And then the team will take application documents and everything. For example, I told you about the diploma, high school documents, and for PG diploma, high school plus graduation degree and mark sheets. Along with that, the team will take passport and passport copy. It should be valid when whatever intake do you want to take in. It should be valid plus 6 months on that, so that the when you apply for the study permit, IRCC should not have any problem with that. Your IELTS document is required, IELTS or any other English proficiency document is required over there. And you create this package. Make sure whenever you go to North Vista, you go with all the documents with you, so that you don't have to do to and fro all the time. And the counselors, the brilliant counselors with them, can actually help you in the correct way and assess your requirement and guide you properly that how to move ahead. Right. So it's a very pure, basic, simple process.
Thank you, Nishant. Again, admission process, guys, says we have to understand that admission process. Obviously, first of all, we sit down with you what you want to do. Are you a grade 12 student looking to come to Canada to study post-secondary diploma or an advanced degree or advanced diploma or a degree, or you are a graduate already in your country and you want to come here to study a postgraduate certificate program. So as Nishant has explained, they have the undergraduate and postgraduate programs. So generally the rule is, let me just tell you quickly, something very important is that if you study 1 year, you get a 1 year work permit. This is the rule. Number 2 rule is if you study 2 years, you get a 3-year work permit. So this is where the whole scenario is. So if you're studying anything 2 years, so 2 years means that you are going to study 2 years and you're going to get a 3-year work permit. And Nishant, please correct me if I'm wrong. 16 months will be considered 2 years, 8 plus 8. Is that correct?
Yes. So Cambrian College does not provide a official break in between these semesters like the other colleges do. So 1 year program is a 2-semester program. But when you talk about when you go and apply for post-study work permit, it would be considered as 1 year program. So 2 years program is technically is for 4 semesters. So it's less than 2 years, but it would be considered as 2 years when you will apply for post-study work permit.
Right, because this is where as I was saying earlier, that this is where the difference between US, Canada, and Australia, Canada and other countries is that while staying in the country, after you've successfully completed your requirements, education requirements, like if you are into a 2-year course, you have completed successfully the 4 semesters, which is equivalent to 16 months, you will get a 3-year, that means a 36-month post graduate work permit. And other thing also we would like to highlight is that, as Nishant said, 1+1. If you're coming on a postgraduate certificate, you've done 1 course of project management and 1 course of organization management. And Nishant, what is the other postgraduate certificates that you have?
So there are 2 1-year programs, for project management and organization management. And then there is 2-year program for cloud computing. And then there's another technically 1.5-year program for mobile applications.
Mobile applications. Okay. And Nishant, one more thing, we're getting one question from people that you have mentioned again Cambrian and Hansen. So people just want to understand, what does that mean, Cambrian and Hansen?
Yeah. So since 2005, we are in partnership with the Cambrian College, which is a public college in Sudbury, and we have been providing their programs in the Greater Toronto area. So when you apply with us, you will get an LOA from Cambrian College. The decision comes from Cambrian College that your admission is okay as per the eligibility and everything. Your process happens with the Cambrian College. The LOA comes from Cambrian College. If you enroll and your fee payment will go to Cambrian College. If you enroll, it'll go. The enrollment letter will come from again Cambrian College. The diploma in the end will come from Cambrian College. So it would be given by Cambrian College with their DLI. Your study permit will also have a DLI of Cambrian College only. We are in partnership agreement with them. We call them public-private partnership, which we started in 2005. So that's how we operate Brampton and Northwood campuses for Cambrian College.
Okay, thank you, Nishant, again. Okay, so let's go. So we have discussed some the admission process. As now we come to something about the study permit application, how to prepare a successful application, and what are the how to ensure that you put your best foot forward. So Nishant, again, this is my expertise a little bit, but I'll need your input as well. So to do a study permit application is all about combination of different facts that you present to the officer. So that obviously includes, number one is admission. So you get admitted through Cambrian, through Nishant's college. Let's say you are a graduate from Pakistan. You have done your IELTS. You have done your you go into project management. Let's say you have 1 year experience from back home in Pakistan. You have 1 year. You show your proof of funds. You show your previous degrees, transcripts, and everything, so that Nishant can give you the admission. And then we have again to show the same to the officer. And then after that, again, coming back to proof of funds is very, very important. Proof of fund is we have to show that you have the ability to support yourself, or your family has the ability to support you. That is very important. Because if you don't take the right steps, don't show the bank statements or proof of funds or property evaluation, your application will not be considered sufficient. And then third is last but not least is a study plan. So Nishant, you have seen hundreds of study plans people have shared with you. So just can you give us a little bit of brief, a little bit, that what do you think a strong study plan could be? I have seen myself. I'll also put my
No,
two cents.
I would I would bounce this question to you only because the college is limited towards giving the admission, and after that, the student's responsibility goes to themselves to apply for their study permit. Although we have immigration consultants in both the campuses where the current students can take counseling from, but when you talk about the study permit application and everything, what I could understand from Nabil, by all the discussions we used to have earlier and all the other partners, it all becomes like a storyline. If you create a puppet story that how your life has been, what are the different steps to till now you have taken towards a productive approach towards your life, just understand that, like for example, you did 12th, you did a graduation, how well did you did, you prepare, you have to convince the visa officer that I am the right person to to represent Canadian education in a college over there. If you work towards that and build a strong profile, right, that tell them about, create a storyline about your family, and you want to come back to Pakistan, you have to clear how the education will help you in your future and how it will create a good impact in your community. That's how I could understand by after having discussion with you, Nabil, and all the other partners.
Yes, thank you, Nishant. That's 100% correct. So a study plan is basically, in other words, we also known as statement of purpose. A statement of purpose where you have to, it is from the applicant's point of view, where you have to inform the officer that your intent to study in Canada is, number one, genuine. That is the main point. You want to come as a genuine student, and you have the ability to take care of your finances. And last but not least, you have the intention to go back to your home country after your studies. Because the main point is that, or the visa approving officer, the visa, they are usually the visa posts. So for Pakistan, either it is Abu Dhabi or it is Islamabad. And as per the laws, they must ensure that the application has the intent of going back. The applicant has the intent of going back after completion of studies. Although subsequent to their studies in Canada, they are allowed to apply for work permit. That is for another law. That's another regulation. But that is applicable when they complete the studies and when they have successfully completed the studies. So this is where it is applicable. So this is where the statement of purpose, study plan, we put a lot of emphasis on that. We work hand in hand with you, the applicant, in creating a very strong study plan and ensuring that, again, it's an effort from all of us. And we have to ensure that we present our best foot forward. It's the best file forward, and there's no shortfall from our side. And so the next point I would like to discuss is very important, is the pitfalls of misrepresentation. So we have from Pakistan, Nishant, we discussed earlier as well, that there have been unfortunate incidents where the applicants have been banned for 5 years or for life because of misrepresentation. So misrepresentation is any false representation of facts, or where you mislead the officer towards believing that you are the right student. So it could be in the form of funds, it could be in the form of your experience, it could be in the form of other stuff which is deemed by the officer to be illegal or unjustified or unverified. So that leads to misrepresentation. So and unfortunately, many unscrupulous advisors, counselors, people guide students, naive students to do so. Sometimes even I have had cases where they came to me after they have been banned for 5 years or life because of bank statements. They forged the bank statements, or the bank statements were incorrect, or whatever. So this is where you have to be very, very careful. I would always recommend all my clients that do not do that. Do not, rather do not take the step forward if you think you're going to get yourself banned for 5 years or misrepresentation for 5 years. That is the issue. That is the biggest issue. You have to understand that misrepresentation. Why do you want to ban yourself for 5 years and create problems? And then this is where, please, if you have anything, let's discuss before we go through your application, and let's move forward to understand that what are your shortcomings are, and what your if you have significant shortcomings where you feel your application will not be accepted, we will tell you that this is the way forward. Let's not go with it right now. We'll go with it later on then. So this is how we have to move with each other. This is where we come in to help you understand the whole scenario. Nishant, you have to put in something.
No, you have perfectly right. Touched upon this topic. Please do not. Please do not think that the officer who's assessing your application would be. Uh, uh, they do their due diligence to the highest level, and that is why they take so much time in taking decision on any of the application. And please think about if you want to, in a hurry, submit unscrupulous documents right now and get yourself banned for a long term, and tomorrow if you genuinely want to shift to, genuinely want to apply for Canadian education, then you won't have a chance. So let's not do not even test that. There are a lot of players in the market who would try to tell you it's okay, you can do that, you'll get away with it, but please don't do that. It's create a lot of problems. It increases the refusal rates for the applications coming from Pakistan, and it it will in a wholesome create a lot of negative effort on all the applications coming over there from there. So please be very genuine with that. Understand your story completely. Whatever it is, put the facts in a strong case in the most honest possible way.
Yes, thank you, Nishant. And that is a very, very wonderful advice, because this is where I tell everybody we have to be upfront. We have to be honest. If you're not ready today, we can wait. We can wait for the next intake. Yes, Nishant. One thing that we must discuss with our audience is that how many intakes do you have, and what is the ideal timeline to apply to those intakes? So this is, please, you give your expertise on
Sure,
this one.
sure. So Cambrian at Hanson College takes 3 intakes: January is winter, May is spring, and September is fall. So currently, applications for January intake are open, and it all depends on the seat availability. If we have the seat capacity, we will take an application for that particular intake. Right now, January is open, and it should be open for next a month or a half, where we are seeing a lot of applications are already pouring in, and we are seeing programs, they are slowly getting filled also with the capacity. So please apply as soon as possible. For May intake, the best time to apply is around December or January, and then for September, the best time to apply is again April or May.
So in short, Nishant, we have to have a 6 months, ideally 6 months to 5 months to 6 months application time before we proceed for any intake. So for because right now you and I are discussing January intake applications, correct? So and January is still in some people's book. Oh, it's still 6 months away. So it's not 6 months away. It is still we have to be because they Cambrian are a very reputed college. They get tons of applications from world over, and they are very busy. So if you want to have a head start, you want Nishant to prepare a good application for you and submit to the management for approval, then Nishant and his team, then we need to submit the application to them earlier. And this is where it works out that earlier the better. And then we also need time because they and Nishant, other thing is that let's say we give you a completed application today. How long do you take your team takes to get us the LOA, letter of
Yeah.
acceptance?
So again, on this point, it's a very good point which you have raised. It all depends how clear is your story. If the application comes to us with in a complete manner, and the admissions team at the back end can understand your background very clearly from the documents you have submitted, they will process the same day on OCAS to Cambrian College. Cambrian College at the back end will take a maximum of 3 days to assess any profile, depending on the number of applications that's coming in on a daily basis. But on an average, it takes maximum 3 days to make any decision on the profile. But again, it only depends when the complete application is with us. So even if there is any requirement, any document missing, then it will keep on dragging. So that's why, guys, Nabil has been saying that complete with complete picture, allow their team to work on your profile in a complete manner, and make sure that whenever they present your case to Cambridge at Hanson College, they should get an answer very quickly. So please work with them on a strong purpose and to understand the requirement, whatever the requirement is, and give whatever documents they ask for, and make sure that everything is genuine and submitted in a perfect manner as they have requested for.
Nishant, and one more thing I would like to add to our audience is that Cambrian and Nishant's team, they are the one of the fastest in terms of giving the LOA. If you submit a completed application, we have submitted applications on Wednesdays, and they have given us the LOAs on Fridays. I know that Nishant, your team is wonderful. As long as the application is complete, you don't bother us, and you give us you give us the LOA on literally within 48 hours, 72 hours is their usual time. Sometimes in 42 hours. Sometimes we have had requested them to give us 24 hours LOAs, which they help us. But again, the application has to be complete. The student has to be at that level. The IELTS has to be there. Their GPA has to be there. And Nishant, can you please a little bit give shed some light on backlog? What do you consider backlog? Because from Pakistan, usually people don't know backlog. What backlog is, because usually I know it's a term for Indian students, but you ask for the backlog certificate from Pakistani students as well. So can you please shed some light on that one?
Yeah. So when people reappear in any of the subjects in their undergraduation course from a college, they that's considered as a backlog, and you can say it in Indian terms as well. And but the same term is used in West African countries and somewhere around Southeast Asia as well. That when we need to see that how many reappears have been done in any of the program. If there are more than 6 reappears, in even in any of the program history with the student, then please don't apply. Your chances of getting into the program is very low. Cambrian is very strict in terms of people who get into the college, and they want to see that it's not only about maintaining the quality of the student, but Cambrian has a strong sense that student who actually study with the Cambrian college, they should cope up with the studies well, and they should not, feel feel difficult to complete the programs at Cambrian. So they always feel that these students should have an adequate academic background to get into the Cambridge College. So that's why if the colleges at your institutions can provide a backlog certificate that these are the total backlogs they had, or otherwise in the mark sheets or somewhere we can understand that if there are any backlogs, then they should be clearly mentioned, or from the mark sheets we could understand that these are the many reappears in any of the program.
Thank you, Nishan. That's wonderful, because we get a lot of questions on this one. So we'll save this clip of yours and forward it to our applicants who are interested to know what backlog is. So thank you very much. That's a wonderful definition. So again, we'll quickly go to our next step. So again, we have discussed a lot of information. Again, some people ask us the difference between STS and non-STS. STS and non-STS is STS is student direct stream, and Pakistan is one of the sorry about that. And Pakistan is one of the applicants, one of the countries who are approved in the STS stream, student direct stream. So under student direct stream, the best part that has happened recently is that the government has lowered the requirement of language. Okay, but again, under STS stream, you must understand that you must have a GIC of $10,000 paid to a Canadian bank, and that money is given to you in different in every month basis. That we'll explain to you. And then other thing is you have to pay 1 year tuition fee. You have to pay 1 full year tuition fee to you to go to the college. So Cambrian has to be there. And then thirdly, we have to do what we have to do is the language requirements. I'll quickly go through it because they are so now you're allowed to do an IELTS exam. So IELTS requirement has remained the same. You need a minimum 6 in each. Okay, and then if you are doing IELTS general is also acceptable. You need to have a CLB 7, which is again 6.5 in each. But they have also allowed PTE with a minimum overall score of 60, and TOEFL IBT with a minimum overall score of 83. So these are the new tests. Actually, there's another test known as CAEL, CAEL, but that's for inside Canada. But outside Canada, we can do IBT TOEFL IBT, PTE, and IELTS general as well, to be considered under the STS stream of under the STS stream. But again, for STS, please, from Pakistan, I know opening a GIC account takes a lot of time. So that can only be done once Cambrian College has given you a letter of acceptance. So please understand that. And sometimes, although the STS, the government claims that you are given a decision within 20 business days, but from Pakistan, it takes a lot of time. It can take a lot of time. There are applications which we have had approvals from Pakistan in 8 days. We have had approvals from Pakistan in 48 days under STS as well. So this is where, because the processing time for each application is not under our control, our job is to complete a submitted application, put our best presentation, our best foot forward, and as Nishant said, make sure that nothing is left unturned in our application, and the rest is up to the government to decide whatever time they take, because the application is submitted online. It can go to Ottawa, it can go to Abu Dhabi, it can go to Islamabad, it can go to Warsaw in Poland, it can go to Singapore office, it can go to the London, UK office, it can go to any office where as IRC deems it correct to send the application based on their the busyness of the office, the specific office visa post. And then Nishant, there's a lot of questions we get on scholarships. Can you please explain how the scholarship system works?
Yeah, so currently Cambrian at Hanson College does not provide any scholarships because we feel that that's not the right way to, to make to see us an applicant is studying with Cambrian College. What we can do is we can provide an application fee waiver to students coming through your agency, and that they don't have to provide the application fees. Second is that we told you about the on-campus paid jobs. So the students are, earning roughly around $5,000 to $6,000 in one semester, which is actually, more than a scholarship for any of the student, any of the applicants. So that's how we give back to the society. And there are other academic scholarships as well by Cambrian College, depending on their how they perform during their studies with us, so they can apply for those scholarships as well. But yes, there are no entry level scholarship for any of our program.
Thank you, Nishant. That was wonderful because this is one of the major questions that our audience is putting up right now. We're getting some very good questions. Okay, Nishant, other question that has come in. Sorry, I'm just taking questions in between so that it's their questions are answered. Does the college accept gaps in study? So again, this is a very vague question, but I just can just give you a brief outline and then I will explain a little bit.
So gaps in study, see again, please don't consider that you would have to explain me. In the end, you would have to explain the visa officer that you are a strong profile. For us, if you are in outside Canada and if you have gaps between the education till the time through a resume you are able to convince me that that gap was productive, that after high school you dropped out to pursue your entrepreneurial work or to do a job somewhere, and then after 5 years you decided to do a graduation to make yourself better. So that is okay, that we can do. It's just that please submit a resume. But if you are an onshore candidate from Canada, what I can understand, and we will also explain it more, that we, from the last education, there should not be a gap of more than 150 days over here. That's where Cambrian College will put a line on, and they will reject the application if there's a gap of more than 150 days of education in Canada.
Oh, thank you, Nishant. Again, that's wonderful. So guys, again, if you have done your bachelor's and you are working in Pakistan or in your home country, and let's say you're working 1 year, 2 years, whatever, and you have a professional experience, which can be reflected on your resume and through the work experience letters and through your own skill set, that is acceptable. And then you are coming to Canada and again, this is where we have to prove on the study plan or statement of purpose that you are a genuine student and you are coming here to enhance your skills, increase your ability in the market to search for better jobs. This is what you're doing. So this is where we have to inform the applicants, inform the officer to ensure that you are a genuine student who's there to increase their skill set. Not just you're here for, you cannot go in with an application saying that I'm coming to Canada to get my PR. That is the ultimate goal, but this is not the way. We cannot put the application. I have seen so many applications from Pakistan, especially unfortunately, from the northern side of Pakistan, Lahore and above, where applicants probably don't know or are misguided that, though you write on the study plan that, after studying Canada, I will work 1 year and 2 years and then apply for PR. That is written between the lines, but you don't have to be open about it. Right, Nishant? I mean, I'm being very, very honest.
That's perfectly well, right? Just try to think that you are portraying your life story,
correct,
to a third person. It has to be as honest as possible. It has to be straightforward. These are the two rules of applying for anywhere in Canada.
Right. And Nishant, on the misrepresentation side, I forgot to mention one thing, that people, most of the people do not inform us or forget to inform us, although we ask them multiple times in writing and verbally, that do you have any prior rejections of any other country? So the Canada would require that even if you were denied a visa from Turkey, you were denied a visa from Australia, you were denied a visa from Thailand, visit visa, whatever, you were with accompanying your parents or whatever, we must mention that. That also is a part of misrepresentation. If you don't mention, that leads to misrepresentation. This is where it is very important that we have to do this. So again, sorry, I'm just being upfront straight away. And then what we have to work upon is, yes, one important thing is, Nishant, I'm sure you are aware of this, but I will quickly share my screen. Sorry, let me just quickly see which screen to. There is one screen that I would like to share with you quickly that is very important, is give me a second, please. Okay, so let me see. Let me share my screen, please. If you okay, guys, can you see my screen? Nishant,
Yes.
can you please see
Yes,
my
I
screen?
can. Yes, I can.
Okay. So guys, this is the government's website on Pakistan's approval or refusal rate. So let me quickly go through this quickly. In 2019, the approval rate was only 29%. In 2020, the approval rate was 33%. In 2021, the approval rate was 37%. What does this mean? So let's review the data of 2021. This is the government website, canada.ca. If you can see on my screen, there's nothing to hide. That total applications submitted in for study permit in Canada from Pakistan were 5747, out of which only 2126 were approved, 3621 were refused. So this is 2021, and Nishant and myself, we were looking at the data of 2022, which is not here on the website, but it will be there in the next few weeks. 2022, the approval rate is similar. It's only 39%. So 39% approval rate means that if you are submitting 10 applications from Pakistan, they are getting 10 applications from Pakistan, less than 4 are being approved, or approximately 4 are being approved. So straight away you have a disadvantage based on this approval rate. We don't know why. Nobody can comment on it. But this is the government's decision. We cannot say. So this is where you must understand how your application should be there. Right, Nishant? Please, your 2 cents.
No, that's perfectly right. Please understand the depth of this data. 39.7% people have approved visa in 2022. That means there is still a huge audience where we can't see that, this complete picture is done. But I am sure when I discussed cases with Nabil, I have seen most of the approvals only coming from your agency, because uh, what I understand from your team has been doing and detailed due diligence before submitting any application forward. That is why we both are focusing and pointing towards being honest in your application and being straightforward in your application. Make sure that at least from your side, please don't give any reason to reject your application. Make a strong case. And I'm sure, Nabil, you were talking about, we'll talk about it in the next few minutes also. But you mentioned to me about one of the student who got the fastest visa approval. I was very happy to hear about that. Do you want to share that story with us?
Yes. So okay. So let me just stop sharing the screen. Okay. So guys, again, coming here, you understand that from Pakistan, only the approval rate is less than 40%. So from 100 applications submitted from Pakistan to Canada for study permit, less than 40 are approved for whatever reason it is. This is where we have to understand the whole challenge. So Nishant, what we were discussing is that one of our students, Pakistani student based in the US, okay, LOA from Nishant's college, postgraduate LOA, a letter of acceptance. And Nishant was kind enough, his team was kind enough to give us the LOA within literally 72 hours of submitting his complete application. Approved within 24 hours. Can you imagine? He gave his biometrics in the afternoon. I cannot say the date exactly, but one afternoon he gave the biometrics. Next morning at 8:30 a.m., I opened his application and there it is approved within 24 hours. But again, Pakistani student, please mark my words, Pakistani student in the US, okay, applying from the US, sorry, living in the US, but with a Pakistani passport, and approved within 24 hours. This is the power of a completed, well-produced, well-presented application.
Exactly. You're telling us about the outcome of that activity. But
Yes.
I'm sure the audience must know that how much hard work your team actually put in to prepare that application so that it could come to 24 hours approval.
Yes, and above all, I would not say that the applicant's IELTS score was anything above average. Yes, their education was good. This is why Nishant accepted them immediately. They had and they already had a master's degree from the US, and wanted to come to a postgraduate certificate because they really liked Cambrian College curriculum, because it's based on hands-on, actual real life challenges that a student seeks. So they wanted to do have a certain new field, and they got admitted to Nishant's college there. So this is where, I mean, the power of working together combined with our true representation of the application, and in a way where the officer likes it. So we try to make, again, I'm not putting in good words for ourselves, but the reality of life is, as a professional, we try to put in an application where the officer has least amount of work to do, because Nishant, remember we were discussing this thing, and an officer has less than 5 minutes to go through your application. So our months of hard work is because this is the pressure they have. The officers, they have to do X number of applications in a day or in certain time period. And obviously, if in those 5 minutes they are presented with a well presented application, their job becomes easier. Nishant, please.
Definitely, that's why we say keep your story straight and honest. Just consider that if if when you are submitting your application, just show it to someone else and ask them, do you understand in 5 minutes what background I had? Why do I want to study in Canada? How will that help? If that third person can understand very easily when they don't know you, they don't know your background, that is the time you consider yourself that yes, you have completed a very good application. Because visa officer is a third person for you. They don't know you. They're sitting somewhere else, right? And you don't even know that where they're sitting. So please make sure that in whatever way your application is being processed for visa, it has to be pure, simple, straightforward, and honest, and very, very clear. Not too many complicated things.
Yes, Nishant, I got somebody, just sharing my experience with somebody studied from the UK master's degree, financially very strong, very good English. They came to me for study visa refused 3 times from Canada. And at the end of the day, the reason, when I went through the whole application, and this is not one case, I have had few other cases like this from the UK, and what I understand is that and recently I got somebody from Lahore. They told me that they had to redo their statement of purpose of study plan, and they paid X person the $200-300 to do the study plan. I said that is criminal. Okay, because a study plan, somebody is writing on you. How can study somebody? You are the person. Even your English is bad, doesn't matter. At least you write it down yourself. It can be edited, but it has to come from you, because that's the nature of study plan. It has to be natural. Study plan you cannot pay somebody $200 to write a study plan for you. That is wrong. I mean, obviously we help you with the study plan. That does not mean we don't. But again, it comes from you. The outflow comes from you. It's your mindset. It's your thought process. It's your history. It's your projection. It's your goals. Obviously, we can give you our feedback. But the issue is that it has to be natural. And the officer knows, when we have paid somebody $200, the officer knows that this was not written by you. This was written by somebody else. This is where the misrepresentation part comes in. This is where the weakness of the application comes in. So this is how it works out. And then okay, Nishant, anything else that you like to put in before we conclude our session for today?
No, I would just say that uh, whenever you are ready, whenever you decide that you want a Canadian education, Cambridge and Hanson is there for you. I've already told you programs, what we run, and it is available at hansoncollegeon.com. And if you feel any challenge, please go to the wonderful team with Nabil. They are one of the most hardworking partners we have seen in the past. And please be very honest, like I've been always been saying, very honest and straightforward in your applications. Whatever documents, whatever clarifications the team requires from you to build your case strong, it is in your best interest only. We come to them, hell, apply right now. January is open. Don't wait for the last moment, because you never know how much time it will take for any of the process. I will take care of the LOA, but there are a lot of other things that you have to take care, build your application process, application package, build for the college. And then when you get the LOA, you have to arrange for funds, you have to make the payments, you get your payment receipt and LOA, you will apply for study permit for that, for again, then another application package the team has to make. Please do not think that it's a small task, it's a humongous task. A lot of people work for each application, and to make sure it goes successful. And I'm very happy that I could connect with people. I could see there are a lot of comments, a lot of questions coming on the YouTube channel. I've opened the live session on the screen as well, just to see the comments and everything. I'm really happy. And if you have any questions and everything, please reach out to Nabil and his team. They would be more than happy to help you out at any part of the day.
Yes, thank you, Nishant. One more thing I would like to add to our audience is the Hanson College is HANSON college.com. So that's just all you want to go through their website, HANSON college.com. And they are affiliated, again, they are private public partnership with Cambrian College in Sudbury. So again, you can go to Cambrian College of Arts and Science. You can Google that, Cambrian, CAMBRIAN. And Nishant, one thing that we did not discuss quickly, we'll just before we wrap up, is the ability for you to go through an English program. So can we please, if somebody wants to do their English is weak, how can we go through that pathway? Can you please shed some light on that one?
Yeah, so people who are feeling challenged in clearing IELTS or Duolingo or any of the English proficiency test, which have been defined by IRCC and the Cambrian College, then what we do is we provide an online program to students for their academic purposes. It's a minimum 10 weeks program. It is on a similar platform pattern with writing, reading, and everything. Uh, After 10 weeks, you will get a certificate where if you pass the exams and everything, uh, you will get a certificate wherein you would be able to get a pathway to any of the Cambrian program um, education, and that means you don't have to provide any other English proficiency test. We call that English for academic purpose, EAP. So you're more than welcome to inquire about that. I think I saw some of the comments that uh, I have this much experience and everything, but I can't clear the English IELTS score and everything. So we will help you out in providing training for minimum of 10 weeks, and it goes to maximum of 25 weeks, depending on the current level what you are on right now. Uh, we'll try to improve upon your English level, and all these activities we do so that you can cope up well when you are studying at Cambridge College. So till the time you won't be confident in communications in English and everything, or it would be very difficult for you to, even if you get in to any of the Canadian college. So that is why we all of us are making sure to that you guys have a better life. It's not only that your life we are changing, we are affecting the life in your community as well, and through the generations with the global impact.
And Nishant, one more thing. Can you please just highlight? I know it's vague question, but what would be the additional cost of an EAP program for, let's say, for 10 weeks? What would be that kind of cost? Any ballpark figure, please?
So the program fees is around $4,000, and for every 5 weeks is around again Canadian dollars. For every additional weeks, it would be around $2,000, and we have some scholarships on that, which when you will come to any of the center, With North Vista, they will tell you what all scholarships we can offer. That is
Okay.
up to 30% that we can offer coming through coming through Nabil's office to us.
For the English program. For the English program is what you're going to work.
Yes, for the only for the English program. Yes.
Okay. And again, there's one question, Nishant. That somebody is about mid-30s and they want to apply for. So, Nishant, your college does not offer master's program for now. Is that correct?
We offer postgraduate diploma program.
Okay, postgraduate diploma and postgraduate certificates. That's correct. Okay, and again, somebody is mid-30s. Again, we have to prepare a case and we have to work out a whole scenario. Okay. Or again, each case is different. Please, guys, you could be 35, you could be 45. Doesn't matter. Each case is different. We'll look through each case at the time you go ahead with us, and we work out from there. And okay. So from just to wrap up quickly, Nishant, first of all, thank you very, very much. I know you are very busy, and coming, giving us time on a Saturday morning for you when it's a weekend, it is highly, highly appreciated. I mean, it's very thankful to you. And this thing and this webinar will be available. Recording will be available on our channels, and you can go through it again. And we will be having requesting Nishant again for another webinar very soon. And maybe we can bring Nishant to Pakistan someday. That is possible. We'll do that as well. So thank you very, very much, Nishant. And guys, again, the purpose of this webinar was just to create an awareness that you understand that the challenges that Pakistani students face in getting approval, because approval rate is already less than 40%. And then the pitfalls of misrepresentation and how the timelines, because the main challenge that we face is that you want to get admitted in January session and you come to us in October. So, and then creating a GIC account for Pakistan takes already over 2 weeks. So this is where the whole challenge for us starts, that you have to understand the timelines, the process. So in short, if you want to get admitted to January, this is the right time for January intake. If you want to get admitted to May, the December would be the best time. If you got to get admitted to the September intake, again, April, May would be the best time. And Nishant, one more thing, total, how many students are studying in your campuses in Brampton and North York, just for knowledge?
There should be roughly around 6,000 students would be studying for September intake in both Brampton and North York campus.
Excellent. Again, guys, you see, the reason why I asked this question was you should understand that this is not a small college. This is not a small any unknown name college. This is something genuine. This is something big. I mean, they have been into this field. Hansen has been into this field since 2005. So this is not North Vista is not guiding you to somewhere where it's a no-name college and we're bringing you to a private college where you won't get a postgraduate work permit. No, this is a genuine college, a genuine whole scenario. 6,000 students studying with them, and this is 6,000 students. You understand, this is a good number. It's a very good number actually. So Nishant, again, very glad, very honestly thankful to you. And we look forward anything if we have any students coming in, obviously we'll pass them over to you, and you may also have some inquiries, and we may also have some inquiries going forward. So we'll be staying in touch. And once again, thank you very much to our audience who are connected, and we'll send you an email blast with the recording of this webinar, so you can catch the points from there. And if need be, you're free to connect with me or Nishant. And I've given you their website, hansencollege.com, and our website, northwestimmigration.com, and we go from there. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Nishant. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Take